welcome to another episode of the 25 Days of Christmas. Today what we're going to do is we're going to make a peppermint platter. All you need is Starlight mints. I've heard that the cheaper they are, like the crappy ones you get from the dollar store, actually work better. We're also going to need parchment or wax paper, a cookie tray, and you can also, I'm going to shape it on a plate because I want a little bit of a slope on the side instead of just being flat. So you can use a plate, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the parchment down on the tray, outline the plate so I know how to arrange them, and the oven needs to be at 350 degrees. We're only going to cook this or bake this for maybe 7-8 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer depending on your oven, but you're going to want to watch it because you don't want it to overcook. You don't want it to start to bubble and brown. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up, and I'll be right back. Pardon the awful lighting in here, but it's my kitchen. What can I do? So I've opened up all the Starlight mints, which that is the most time-consuming part of this entire project, I think. So they're all opened up. I'll put those off to the side here. And this is the platter that I'm going to use to mold it once it gets done. So I'm just going to put that down. I'm going to trace around it so I have an idea of how to arrange the mints. Now I'm not going to put the Starlight mints on this side of the paper. I went ahead and I got a circle there. Put this off to the side. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to use this as my template. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start laying out our Starlights. Nothing crazy, just keep filling them in until you get the desired size that you want. There we go. It's not exactly the size that I wanted it, but I'm hoping it will actually spread a bit as it cooks, melts. My oven's already preheated to 350, so I'm going to go ahead, pop it in. I'm going to watch it very closely. If you do this, please watch it closely. And be extra careful when handling it. I mean, it's going to be hot sugar, which I have unfortunately learned after getting molten sugar on my face from doing pulled sugar in college, that it hurts. So just be careful. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. I'm going to pop it in, check it about 4 minutes, just to make sure we don't have too much browning or anything going on. And I will be back shortly. So I just took it out of the oven. I think it was in there for maybe, 4, 6... It was probably about 8 to 10 minutes, but I watched it extremely closely. It actually spread more than I had expected, but exactly what I wanted. I pulled it just before it started to get a couple bubbles here and there. Nothing too awful. Maybe like one big one here, but most of them are settling a bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cool a little bit because it's right now runny, hot, molten sugar. I'm going to give it a second to cool, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it on top of the platter so it forms the curve that I want it to have so it can hold cookies. So I will be back to show you that in just a couple minutes. I went ahead and I took I only waited about 30 seconds because this actually sets up way quicker than I had anticipated. So literally take it out of the oven, let it sit about 30 seconds or so, and go ahead. If you're going to mold it to something, do it then, because this set up really fast. Those little bubbles that were in here, I was able to go ahead and very quickly, because it was very hot. Took a piece of the parchment from this and just went ahead and carefully, tried not to burn myself, rubbed over the bubbles. I got most of them out. It's not a perfect circle, but you know what? I think it looks darn cute and it has character. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this cool completely, because even though it's solid, it's still fairly hot. So I'm going to put it off to the side, let it cool. I'll be back in a little bit with a finished product. Alright, and there you have it, the finished product. It is fairly sturdy, about as much as a plate would be. It is completely cooled now. It took maybe about 10 minutes for it to completely cool. And like I said, it's not completely round and it's not completely even, but I think it looks good. Real simple, like I said, about maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Just essentially you have to watch it. There's no walking away. You have to watch it like a hawk. But that is it. I hope you liked our peppermint platter. If you do try it yourself, send us pictures. And make sure to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram. We're kind of all over the place. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for another episode of our 25 Days of Good.